Hello, Star Wars fans. You know, it's just 1 week now, 7 days until Christmas Eve 2020. And we're on the eve of the Mandalorian Season 2 finale, Chapter 16. And we are super, super stoked. Today, as usual, on Thursdays, we have a magic maker with us from Reimagining Star Wars. His channel is in the description here. You can find. And today, a magic maker joins us from Disney World. He's down in Orlando, Florida with his family on vacation, and quite jealous. Tomorrow we'll be at the studio.
Hollywood Studios and going to Galaxy's Edge. We've already got our reservations.
Oh, man. Oh, and just say hello, Park Outdoors, Drew's Reviews. Thanks so much. Appreciate you coming in. Do I have a favorite Christmas movie I like to watch each year? Yes, we watch Elf. And the night that we put up our Christmas tree, the family gets together. We bake some cookies, we put the tree up, decorate it, and watch Elf. It's become a tradition in our home. How about you, Magic Maker?
We watched Scrooge with Albert Finney. It's been
very nice.
I've watched since I was a little kid.
Very, very nice. So we've only got a magic maker with us for the first part of the show because, as I mentioned, they're down in Orlando. So let's jump into our predictions for Chapter 16. And go ahead, give us your short and sweet.
All right, so short and sweet. I think I laid out a pretty good path for where they're going. I think they're going to Camino. I think that they're going to end up facing off against Moff Gideon there. I do think they succeed in getting Grogu back from Gideon. I think there's going to be a big fight. I also think that there's going to be a surprise at the end with a Jedi showing up and taking Grogu. So we have a happy, sad ending. And then there's going to be a little scene at the end that's going to make us go, what? And then we're going to be left with a cliffhanger.
Very good. That's a fantastic short. And we got some other folks here. Lord Vito, hello. Vito, I'm trying my best to usurp you is taking all of Josh's ire on your Boba Fett hate. I've been picking on Josh pretty good, and if things go as I think they might tonight, tomorrow, you and Trev should be off of the hook. Just put it there. Trinity, welcome. XR Coon, Mark Hamilton, Gray. Hello, good to have you here.
Wow, we're having a regular show up group now. This is it's like going to the bar. Norm.
We have some regulars. That's right. Cliff, how you doing? Right. So I put on here this scene from Game of Thrones with on the thumbnail because Pedro Pascal played quite the spear handler in Game of Thrones. If you've not watched that series, he shows up and he kicks some serious tail with that spear. That episode, and in case you haven't seen it, I won't spoil anything for you, but that episode has a little twist at the end, but he is a force to be reckoned with. And so I know that Pedro Pascal has been trained with a spear. He's done choreography with a spear, and I think he's really capable as an actor, pulling off the physicality of managing that. And we know that in Armor, that there have been two actors portraying the Mandalorian. One of them is a martial artist, and the other is a Western guy, right? John Wayne's grandson. So I think very well we could see Din take off his helmet, and we'll see him go at Moff Gideon with that spear, and we're going to see a Game of Thrones kind of choreography battle with Pedro Pascal actually doing the physicalities. What do you think?
I think that's possible. I mean, I dealt with the aspect of removing the helmet and trying to answer the question if he's still Mandalorian,
right?
And my preview to this, and
Yep.
and so I think I did a pretty good job explaining what it truly means, and I think what Din Djarin's coming to understand the meaning of taking, have you taken your helmet off or had it removed by others,
Right.
and so I think he's starting to recognize what that truly means, and so I don't think it's unlikely that he'll take his helmet off now from this point on, and I think that's because I think it's taken on its true meaning versus it's just a physical ritual meaning.
Right. I agree with you. I think, and if you haven't seen a Magic Maker's predictions video, it should be worth going back and catching, because he lays that out really, really well. I watched it yesterday. I think he posted it yesterday or the day before.
Yesterday,
yeah, and it was very well done. It's not too long, and it captures all those ideas. Dale, welcome, and I see Trinity. As soon as you come in, you have a bad influence on XR Kun. I saw that comment. I saw it. I'm going to blame Trinity for it. So there we go. It's good to have you guys here. Yeah, I think he's going to take it off. So there's a lot of speculation, and again, I kind of want to front load this, and then we can kind of go into some more detail, after you have to go. But you said you think he's going to go to Kamino. I don't rule out Kamino, but I think he's going to go back to the planet where he met Bo-Katan and say, hey, we're fixing to get it on with Moff Gideon. Why don't you come along? And,
yeah, I'm not opposed to that either. I'm just saying that Moff Gideon's going to Kamino.
Yeah, and that very well could be. I mean, I've seen the videos speculating on several different planets he could head to, and I thought you laid it out really, really well. He's right on the right path on that lane to head there. So
right,
and
let's head straight toward where Scarif is, the Rishi maze, and if you go to Rishi and into the Rishi maze, you're going straight to Kamino.
Exactly. So I thought you laid that out. XR Kun, you get the Frog Lady again. Right. If he goes back to the planet where he was, that moon that was watery, the one where he met
Trask.
Trask. He goes back there. Then the Frog Lady and her husband are there, and they may have a little child at this point. May not be a tadpole. and then we'll also. I think he'll be going there expressly to get Bo-Katan, and we're going to get Boba Fett and the whole crew going to go meet Moff Gideon at the coordinates where they were tracking, right?
Right.
So,
I think that if we do see Frog Lady, it is to have her as a guide once again to take him right to Bo-Katan.
Yeah. Lord Vito, the armor is my favorite Mando. Okay, so there's a couple of things here just to bring out. There are some rumors that the armorer could actually be a villain. And I want to dismiss that. I saw the videos. I've seen the speculation. I just don't think that that's viable. She's obviously
cast, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thought. But I don't think she's an antagonist in the story. I don't think she's going to be an adversary to Din. She may kick him out of his order because he's turned a different leaf, but I think you made a really good argument about the why of how it's been removed and what it alludes to, and that he has not broke that code for those reasons. But and then the other speculation is that the command officer or the officer on Moff Gideon's ship, that she is actually Sabine undercover. And I think there's a couple of really good arguments for that. One is that the actress herself is a martial artist, quite capable martial artist. And secondly, she has been featured with some speaking lines multiple times. She's a recognizable character that we've seen multiple times. And when you talk about the reveal that could be the what moment. It could be her revealing that she's Sabine.
Right. That would be a shock to me. I haven't heard that theory. I like that one though.
Well, I saw Star Wars Meg put it out this morning, and I was like, whoa. And Meg, and I saw Josh dismiss it this morning, but her being a martial artist, I think, is the strongest argument for it. And
Right,
then
I think you're right. I mean, I think that's a good tell. And and you specifically had her repeatedly have lines.
Exactly.
For a minor officer, it seems, you know,
a little suspect.
A little suspect.
Yeah, and that and I saw the side by side that Meg put in her video, and there's enough similarity there to make it work.
Yeah,
so,
I can see it in my mind right now. I'm seeing it. She's got the short hair.
Yeah,
we saw with Sabine in the epilogue, and so I mean, I'm not. I can't completely dismiss it at all, and I haven't seen Star Wars Meg's video, but I mean, it's so obviously, guys, you need to check that one out too. So her some love, but I like her. I mean, I subscribed to her like probably about 2 weeks ago, maybe.
Me too.
And so she's come on strong. I like her vid. So
she is really good, and a nice balance there. In the I know I've been giving Josh Lucas a really hard time about Sabine, Ezra, and Boba Fett, and I ramped it up a little bit more this morning. But I've spent a lot of time thinking about what my predictions were this week, and those posters. The character posters that have been revealed all season, the graffiti work in all of those has got to be a tell. It has got to be, and I just can't leave it. Right. So, I, as much grief as I've given Josh, I do think that there's some credence to that, and so I'll put the tinfoil hat on, and I'll say that the imp officer is Sabine. So I'm going to put that in my predictions. Imp officer Sabine. It's my tinfoil hat theory of the episode. And then secondly, will somebody show up from the beacon that Grogu put out? And I think that maybe not.
Right. I think the answer is yes.
Okay, very good. Mm-hmm. So I think the jaw dropper is going to be Sabine at the end, and we're going to have to wait for the Jedi. And then I'm also a little bit suspect on that end game kind of finish. So most people are headed that way, but I don't know there's been setup. So specifically, I mean the Seventh Fleet and Thrawn. I don't think it's been set up enough. Just a name drop alone isn't enough to warrant it. But I think, and also that epilogue scene still gives me pause to say that Ezra and or Thrawn could show up. I don't think either of them are possible. So I dispel the Ezra and Thrawn. Now, I know you've made a really good case for Thrawn, and you and I have been chatting. Mm-hmm. Go ahead, tell me your thoughts on Thrawn showing up.
All right, so I think the end scene is going to be the epilogue of that is going to be a Jedi comes and gets Grogu, and the reason I think that is because we're right at the point where I think this is going to be a 4-season series. It could go on, but this storyline with Grogu is going to go 4 seasons, and I think we're right at the point where we're at the false victory or false climax, depending on where you read, and it usually occurs around the middle of Act 2. So if you break down how things work, Act 2 is usually twice as long as 1 and 3, so it's really kind of separated into 2 acts itself. Mm-hmm. So and usually you have a false victory at the middle where it looks like you've achieved your goal, but in all actuality you just set yourself up for your biggest failure, which comes at the end of Act 2, which is the darkest night. And so I think that's what we're setting ourselves up, because his quest has been to find and deliver Grogu to a Jedi, and of course he's going to be depressed about it, but he's going to have accomplished his quest, and so it leaves us sad, excited that he's done this. They'll move to the next quest of trying to achieve what they think the next goal is to free Mandalore and and get the Darksaber and all that kind of stuff. So that'll set that up for the season 3, and I think at the end of the drop is going to be that we'll see the back. If I were to deliver, you won't know who that Jedi is. You're like, who the heck is this guy? And we'll all suspect who he is, and all we'll hear is we'll come in from behind as he gets him and has the child. You'll hear Thrawn's voice, and I think that's all you're going to hear.
Okay, so Drew's review said he thinks you'll get a Boots tease similar to like Boba's original tease from season 1. So the Boots tease to you would be it's Thrawn.
Right.
I gotcha.
And we may never even see the Jedi's face. Like he might be fully cloaked, but that Jedi will be Ezra.
Oh boy! So you're going the Thrawn and Ezra path.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm opposite of that, right? So
Right.
we're going to get Luke Skywalker, and there's another part here, and Mark Hamilton posted it again in the chat. You may think I'm a villain, but I'm trying to harness some energy and some powers for a path that can be best for all. You'll get to see him somewhat diplomatic and more of a manipulator. Now we haven't seen that, and then that was Giancarlo. He put that in an interview, right? He said. We haven't seen that come through. We also know he's going to break a couple of Darksabers, and I expect that to be in this finale. But I haven't seen him be diplomatic manipulator. I don't know.
Absolutely. I mean, he touched on it in the very beginning or at the end of season 1, where you saw that he had a ruthless but negotiating capability.
Yeah.
And of course, it was under the threat of a gun, but still, you saw that there was some ability there. And so I think there's a dynamic getting ready to set up. I'm not sure how that is. I just know there's 2 parties going after Grogu. We know that from the very beginning of season 1, so we can't discount that other side was Thrawn or something associated with Thrawn.
Yeah. Mark thinks the tease will be like the Darksaber was last year, sort of the light the green. So there's this. There was a hashtag that they tried to start back with the sequel trilogy, and hashtag light the green, meaning they wanted Luke Skywalker to show up and light his saber. And now it's coming up again, light the green. So what they mean is like at the end you just get the and the green sabers there, right?
Right. I mean, I just don't think that we're going to see Mark Hamill in this season. I don't, even his likeness. And the reason I say that is because that deal wasn't signed until August. And so it was done. Season 2 was done by then. So I think it's more likely to happen in season 3 or season 4. So we know those are both being shot simultaneously.
The next thing we need to get you on record for before we lose you is who do you think will die? If somebody dies, who's it going to be? And well, first of all, do you think somebody's going to die? And then secondly, if so, who?
I don't think anyone's going to die in this.
No one of significance. Probably a few stormtroopers, but other than
it again, like I said, I think it'll be, this is the false victory. And so you have to be left with sadness that the goal was accomplished, but happy that it was also accomplished and they were all successful. And now they know, and now they have the new quest, what they think it is, which is to restore Mandalore to Mandalorians.
Yeah, and I think that further backs this. The imp officer taking off her hat and its purple hair, boom, Sabine, right?
Yeah,
I think that's absolutely potential, and I do think that, as you mentioned, the false victory, they're going to get back the Darksaber. Bo-Katan is going to have it, and now it's to go take back Mandalore. And now that Din is in debt to Bo, Sabine, and Boba, he's going to owe them the duty of helping them restore Mandalore.
Right.
Yep, I'm with you. Let's see what else.
Only to find out later that the Baby Yoda isn't, Grogu's not in good hands, and that he's not safe, which will rekey Boba's, you know, oath, because he's not safe, and so you'll see that. I think that'll all come back around in the end. I think that's the key.
So there's a couple of folks, Gray and Park Outdoors, suggesting perhaps Fennec Shand would die. I could see that, but I mean, they already brought her back. It's sort of weird to bring her back only to have one battle and die.
Yeah, they could kill her, and then they could bring her back with a new body part. That's here comes the Mandalorian Kenny. Oh my God, you killed Fennec.
Bit of making her into Darth Vader-ish kind of piece by piece.
Piece by piece.
Yeah. No, I seriously think that the best. There's a couple that I put. Boba Fett is highly likely. I think we've had his story arc now. He's been fully redeemed and made into a serious character and not just the butt of jokes. Going into the Sarlacc pit, and he's proven his worth. And I think that even in this last battle, he could come out extremely strong, taking out large numbers of forces and prove his worth again, and die in a sacrificial thing towards the end to release Grogu. So I think Boba Fett is the most likely to die. Outside of Boba Fett, I go with Grief Carga. And I do think Grief Carga could potentially die. And,
if he goes along, then he would be my bet.
Yeah. So I go with those two. I
just can't believe they would kill Boba right off the bat. I really, to me, people. I think they would just. People would burn Mandalorian down. They kill Boba off already. I'm not saying Boba won't die in the end of the series, but not yet. They can't kill him off yet.
Yeah, I just think that's it's likely, and I do think a named character we know will die. So you said no, I say yes, and then there's a lot of support for Bo-Katan. Bo-Katan show, retaking Mandalore. I originally thought that would be the spinoff show, but now I think it could be season 3.
Yeah, I think that's going to be season. I think to me, Boba is more likely going to die in the Darkest Night period. We've seen him. We've grown to love his character again, and we're like, oh my gosh, he's so awesome. And one of the things I saw was a meme, called them Mando Bros. It's call themselves Mando Bros. And they're like, deal, got it. And so they get along. They find themselves in complete, agreement. They're working together. They do their thing, and we grow to love the team. And then we break the team at the end of season 3.
I think Mark coined it earlier this week. He's been relegated to Uber Fett. He's no longer Boba Fett. He's Uber Fett. And, he's their driver. Right. So
Uber Fett.
He's Uber Fett. So I give Mark credit for that one. That was fantastic.
We have Uber Eats and Uber Fets.
Uber Fets. There you go. And I do think that the other possibility with Boba Fett is that he will actually turn on Din, and he's being used as a mold.
Yeah,
I think that's possible.
It's possible. I'd actually rather see that than have him die.
Yeah, and the idea of Din Djarin dying, I get it. Like, you go down the full Game of Thrones thing, and they killed off main characters all the time. Josh made his strongest case he possibly could this morning. He did last night too with the nerd theory, but I just don't buy it. They're together, right? They're the Mandalorian. The show is synonymous for Din Djarin, so I don't think that's.
No, I think they're trying to keep the theme of this one thing, and of course, they're going to answer the question, what does it mean to be Mandalorian? I mean, I think that's the central question. But the main thing is that we have to understand about Star Wars is that Star Wars is truly about family. And that's the key of what they're saying. So there's an aspect of of the clan, of the tribe, that family, and what it means to be Mandalorian as a family. And there's also the aspect of father and son, or father and child, because we don't know if Grogu's a boy or a girl. Father and child with Grogu, and so I think that that's a key factor. I don't say little factor; it's a key factor of this storytelling. So I think that because of that, if they were to kill off Din Djarin at this point, I think you would have an absolute riot. And same thing, you can't kill off Boba either.
No.
At this point, I'm not saying Boba can't die. I'm not saying Din Djarin can't die. Just not at this point.
Yeah. And Mark brings up Boba is a cash cow for Disney, for Disney Plus, and for the Star Wars as a whole. And killing him doesn't make sense from that perspective.
No, it does not make any sense. Like I said, if you're going to take him out at the darkest night, because the whole point is to get us to fall in love with Boba. So if Boba we're already on that point. We're in love with Din Djarin. We're falling back in love with Boba Fett. We see that he was just a circumstance, bad circumstances, bad luck affected him in the last, in Return of the Jedi. Now we see how badass we all thought he was, and we're gonna get to see that through season 3. We're gonna fall in love with his character, and then he dies, and we're gonna be like, what? And we're all gonna feel like Din Djarin in that moment, and that's a key factor that we're gonna be like, somebody needs to die.
Well, I do. So let me just get a couple of the rumors of Boba Fett being heavily involved in season 3, and also the rumors I think that are false that he was getting his own spinoff series. I think there is a lot going on with Boba Fett, and just all of that activity with him that's involved with production that's happening right now.
Right. I think it was started in November, and I think they were filming his scenes, and they were saying that was going to be the Boba Fett spinoff series.
Yeah.
And it turns out that it's really there's film, because we knew they were going to be filming season 3 starting sometime in November, December.
Yep. And so I agree. So we'll see what happens there. Now XR Kun making the argument, it's called The Mandalorian, not Din Djarin, but I think they're synonymous, XR Kun. And while they could do that, but Josh made a really strong argument, Den of Nerds, he made a really strong argument. I just don't buy into it. I think the likelihood is low. If it did, it would certainly create a social media buzz that would just be explosive. But and it would certainly be the cliffhanger to get you to come back for season 3. But wow, I don't know. I don't buy it.
I mean, I think there's just a lot of things that we don't know are going to happen. I mean, that's why we're making predictions. And I love predictions versus leaks.
Oh, me too.
And when things are leaked, it really, really, really upsets me.
I absolutely love this. I think it's fantastic.
This is the love. This is what makes Star Wars fans like the most beautiful thing ever, in my opinion, trying to predict what's going to happen. Well, with that, I actually need to go. So
you do need to go.
To the rest of your show. Thank you all for coming, and thank you, Santa, for having me. And are we doing this on Christmas Eve, or we're going to do this early?
We'll do it early. We'll record something, and we'll set it to release. All
right. So I'll see you all next week. Love you all. May the Force be with y'all.
Thank you so much, Magic Maker. Take care.
Santa.
All right. And with that, Justin, last shot of the season is going to be a Jedi's leg coming into frame. We see the hilt of the saber, hopefully Luke's. I do think that's possible to get that as a stinger at the very end. That's very, very possible. Greg Grogu's boy. Right. I was going to say that, but you already got it. I think we're going to get the Siege of Mandalore in the Bad Batch. We get Bo-Katan's story in that. I don't know, Dale. The description for the Bad Batch is the mercenaries for hire. It's the A-Team, and brought to Star Wars the animation. And so I don't think Bad Batch is the Siege of Mandalore or the reclaiming of Mandalore. I do think it's going to be the Mandalorian is going to be that. And it actually gives a retcon meaning to the whole series at the end. So right now, the Mandalorian, and go back to what XR Kun said, that it's called the Mandalorian, not the Din Djarin. Right now, they're synonymous. The Mandalorian and Din Djarin are synonymous. At the end of this series, 4 seasons, I do think that we will have a new Mandalorian, like somebody who is in a rightful ruler of Mandalore, and that very well could be Din Djarin. I kind of highly doubt it. I think it would more likely be Bo-Katan retaking Mandalore, and where we could go from there is open ended, and perhaps we'll get another announcement. I'm with many of you who would love to see that whole series followed in its own spinoff. Absolutely, yeah. Ahsoka says his name's a he. Yeah, I got it. Grogu's real name is Greg. Oh, Reefer Man. Oh my goodness, that's funny. Also, Pershing said he. Yes. Greg and Manny. Grogu toys. Yeah, there's going to be lots of them. Justin is lost. Hey, I did a theory. The Mandalorian title refers to Grogu and not Din. I really believe down the road it comes true. Oh, it could, because he's force sensitive. And that's why Josh Lucas keeps going with Din being force sensitive, because he wants to be the Mandalorian in the same aspects of the very first The Mandalorian, right? Who was a force user and Mandalorian, ruler of Mandalore, and the creator of the Darksaber, all of that. So that's where that comes from. And if Grogu ends up being that, I just don't know that a Yoda species. I think the true Mandalorian would be somebody who is both by creed and by blood Mandalorian. And that's why I go with Bo-Katan. Bubba will die, but a hero in a huge move like the Long War when Tim is ready to retire. Yeah, I think Boba will die. And if it's not now, it'll be later. But I really do think it could be now. Mandalore the Reclaimer. Hello there. Oh boy. Dual reveal. Boba turns up to be the imp officer, shoots it from behind, revealing she's Sabine. Oh. My mind is officially blown. My mind is officially blown. Oh my goodness, you guys, you've outdone yourselves. Oh my goodness. So let's see. Let me get caught back up here. General Mandobi with the hello there. Bo-Katan Krazi is superior. Yes, I agree. XR Kun. That's so wizard, but it'll be a hooded Jedi. Could be. Absolutely could be. The Bad Batch shows the Purge. Oh, now that is very possible, XR Kun. The Bad Batch could deal with the Purge of Mandalore and then the Great Purge, right? That's talking about earlier in The Mandalorian in season 1. How many BBY was the Mandalorian Purge? Park Outdoors, I think the Purge may have been, well, it's a pretty tight window, because we get the Siege of Mandalore right with the Phantom, or with Revenge of the Sith, and then we get where we're right now, 10 ABY. If the Great Purge happened, it's possible it could have happened at like 1 ABY or something like that. I don't know exactly. It may not be a BBY at all. It might be after the Battle of Yavin. Yep, there we go. XR Kun. Purge is ABY. Siege is yes, there you go. Grogu. Dale. No. No. Bo-Katan is the way. Yes, Mandalore. Hi, my name is what I think her Mandalore name will be, considering she's trying. My name is what? Oh, Mandalore the Reclaimer. Oh, very good. Yeah. That should be. I get it. Very good. Siege is 19 BBY. Right. And then I was thinking that the Purge, the Great Purge, would be an ABY event, not a BBY event. But I don't know for sure. Anyway, that's where I am. Boba Fett blows up the Camino labs to ensure no more clone troopers, and that's why. Well, there you go, Drew. So the speculation has been that they would go to Camino, and that the battle would take place there. And of course, that's where Boba was born, and the clone facility there is where his dad, and he lived together before his dad died. So it could very well be a sacrificial death on Camino where Boba Fett dies. It absolutely could be. It couldn't, and that's why the cloning moved to Senegal. A bit of a suspect that Gideon's cruiser didn't fire on Slave One. Boba flew right up to it. That's right. In the episode where the Razor Crest was blown up, right, in the tragedy, then Boba Fett was going right up there to the cruiser, and they didn't fire a single shot on him. The purge isn't dated yet. Yeah, it could be. It's in that time period though. Phil, with Disney they could make it from an ABY to a BBY. It could be any time in there. I don't know that it's been defined. So, didn't the Empire try to take over Mandalore but couldn't? So that's the thought. So when Din talks to Bo-Katan and talks about Mandalore being gone, and Bo essentially says it's not what you think it is. I think the Empire did try to take over Mandalore, and that they perhaps have control of it now. And that's sort of how we talked about Corky. Corky had the Darksaber, or could have gotten the Darksaber, and that he was actually defeated by Moff Gideon, and that's how Moff has the Darksaber now. That's how Gideon has it now. And he didn't get it from Bo. Now Bo is trying to go back and get it from him. We should have to reclaim it. So if that's the case, the Empire could have control over Mandalore right now due to Moff Gideon and the Darksaber. And once Bo-Katan takes over the Darksaber, they could go back on a quest to reclaim Mandalore and purge the Empire remnants that are still there. So I'm absolutely on board with that. The Great Purge could have happened during the mid-rim retreat. Right. That's exactly right. And it could have been, so we had Operation Cinder, and that was mentioned in the last episode. Operation Cinder is a scorched earth policy brought to Star Wars, right? So scorched earth policy is in war. When you're retreating, you burn everything. The Russians did it in World War I and World War II. They would burn down everything, houses, lands, crops, absolutely everything. And the invading troops then would just go mile after mile after mile into devastation. And there was there's nothing to eat. There's no shelter. There's no protection. It's just endless miles of complete wasteland. And so the Empire did that. And Operation Cinder was them just destroying planets, scorched earth policy. And as they're retreating, right? So as they're backing away, they're just saying, you don't want us here? We're not going to have anything. And they just burned it down. So the thought was that they did that to Mandalore and made it uninhabitable in like an Operation Cinder type event. So could be. Star Wars Santa gets the Darksaber. Oh, I have to change my logo from the green lightsaber to the Darksaber. Oh, that's good. Let's see. Post BBY, Mandalorian Civil War, Rebels ended. Okay, I'm with you, XR Coon. That's good. Well, but Phil, that in okay, you're talking. Okay, I think Corky died during the Clone Wars since he wasn't in Siege of Mandalore or in Rebels. Not sure. I've got to go back. I'm going to start a Rebels rewatch here very soon, and I'll tell you, Imagic Maker has a thought that I kind of put out there for him, but he didn't take the bait. He's kind of short on time. I'll get to it in a second. In fact, I'll do it now. So, Imagic Maker and I've been talking. the World Between Worlds portal that Ezra accesses, he believes, and this again, why I got to go back and do a rewatch, that portal was actually on board Thrawn's ship. And so if that portal was on Thrawn's ship, I thought it was on a planet, like in a cave or in a structure. But a magic maker is pretty confident that it's actually on Thrawn's ship. If that's the Purgles, the space whales hyper jump them out, it could be that Thrawn and Ezra have access to the World Between Worlds, and that they would use it to come back from where they are. And in that case, they could jump into this timeline now, where this battle's fixing to take place. Both of them could show up, and then both of them could disappear again, so that it makes the epilogue scene of Rebels still fit, and it allows them to show up here. Interesting thought, but I'm going to have to do a Rebels rewatch to get all of that down really tight. Burke, welcome. And Burke and I are working for me to come on to his stream during the holidays, perhaps Christmas or New Year's Eve, and do a discussion about the Mandalorian. So watch for me to show up over there. Let's see. Let's get caught up. Possible Bo-Katan helps them beat Gideon, and her and Mando fight over who should take the dark saber. I don't know that Din would fight over the dark saber, but perhaps I could see Boba Fett doing it. Boba Fett would certainly have an interest in gaining that power, so I could see him doing it. You have to put some Mandalorian. Let's see, Mandalorian. Oh, yeah, I'll have to add some Mandalorian armor to my suit. You're right. I got to get some Beskar. Rebels is pretty good. It feels show's underrated. Yeah, I've got to do a Rebels rewatch. I still favor the Clone Wars animated series as well, but there is some gold in Rebels. Some of those episodes are fantastic. I especially like the ones with the one in the middle. I just lost his name. It starts with it'll come to me in just a second. I want to quit trying to think of it. Oh shoot. Clone Wars. Rebels is next. That's right. It's on the ship in the holodeck. Starship Enterprise. Oh, the World Between Worlds was on the holodeck in the Enterprise. Oh, that's it. Will, good morning. Hello, Will. Welcome. It's a different portal in the same temple, but Ezra tore it down on Thrawn's ship. Yeah, so they could have maybe put it back together, right? I don't know. I don't think they want to be the leader, right? I don't think he is after that at all. The portal was toast, right? And then it gets hyper jumped out anyway. So either way, I prefer the Clone Wars animation over Rebels, but the Rebels stories are really good. That's right. Bendu is the word I was trying to think of. The Bendu twin sons. Oh, good. Yes. Rebels has a few of the best Star Wars ever. You're right. You're right. And there's a scene in Rebels that Rian Johnson stole in the throne room scene of The Last Jedi, where the Imperial guards shock the snot out of Ezra. There's a scene there where they have him lifted up and he's like tilted back. And that same thing happens with Rey. Right, she's lifted up and she's tilted back, and then the camera pans around. And you watch from the other side, and you see Ezra's head tip back, and he's yelling from the shock he's getting. And the same scene is in that throne room scene with Rey, her head tilted back, where Snoke is putting the force on her. If Django's origin come in canon, the same as Legends, that Boba probably hate Death Watch, not want Bo-Katan. Right. So Mandalore the Reclaimer. Exactly. I think that if there's going to be a battle with a Darksaber once Bo-Katan gets it back, it'd be Boba Fett trying to get it from her. And there you could have a conflict as it goes about season 3. Boba live. If Boba does live, I hope Carga gives Mando a new hunk of junk ship. Yes. So Drew, I think that new hunk of junk ship that we have seen on Navarro is the quad jumper, the same type of ship that you see in The Force Awakens that gets blown to bits when Rey and Finn are running for it, and then they have to turn and get on the Falcon. That's quad jumper there. That same ship has been seen on Navarro, the same model ship anyway, has been seen on Navarro, and is very well. That ship is under control of Carga and or Cara Dune, and that they could gift that quad jumper to Din Djarin. And I have thought that might happen for a long time. Personally, I would favor him getting another Razor Crest model, but I think the quad jumper is very, very highly likely. Clone Wars is a better series overall. Rebels season 2 finale is better. You know, they're both good in their own way, but I prefer the Clone Wars animated series over Rebels. But I'm going to do a rewatch, and I'll give it a try. Jack, hello. Welcome, Jack. Good to have you here. Yeah, I didn't expect to literally be Santa. I am a Santa Claus here in Central Ohio. I'm at Cabela's right now during the COVID stuff. I've got to wear a mask. I'm behind a plexiglass shield and all of that kind of stuff. But other times you can normally find me in Central Ohio at Cabela's, at IKEA, and out and about doing Santa appearances in the area. So there you go. I am Santa. I am a Santa. Dale, Clone Wars. Just saying, hey, Clone Wars and Rebels are Filoni verse. Love it. Yes. So Bubba could fight Bo-Katan for the title. Yes. And so there could be your conflict for season 3. While Bo-Katan's trying to reclaim Mandalore, Boba Fett could end up being opposed to them. Exactly. Let's see. The Malachor arc is amazing with Vader. Oh my goodness. The appearances of Vader and Ahsoka in Rebels, tremendous. And I'll add to that Maul, the continuation of Maul's story arc, and all of that is executed extremely well in Rebels, and really, really good. Bo-Katan isn't Death Watch anymore. Right. She's with, right. They split off, and her and the Night Owls are sort of an offshoot, and they ended up being opposed to Death Watch in the Siege of Mandalore. They fought against them. Right. Rebels episode with Lando and Leia's gold. You know, I can't even remember that one. I can't wait to do the rewatch. Ahsoka's taking on the Inquisitors and saving baby. Yes. Let's see. Yes, time for a Rebels rewatch. You know, I'm going to start that immediately after this season of Mandalorian. And yesterday, my youngest daughter started another rewatch of the Clone Wars animated series. We watched almost all of season 1 yesterday, so we're moving along there again. Yeah, thanks, Jack. It is something that gives me purpose and light in my life. Bringing happiness not only to children but to families, adults, special needs people who are adults but have learning issues or developmentally delayed. They give me a great deal of joy and happiness in my life. Yeah, exactly. Even though I love Ahsoka in the Mando, I still think she should have died. Well, you're with George Lucas there. She wanted to, George Lucas wanted Ahsoka to die, but it's something that Dave Filoni has held on to, and Dave Filoni won't even acknowledge that she's dead in The Rise of Skywalker. He came out after that speculation began because her voice was heard by Rey people saying, well, she's dead by then. And he said, oh, not so much. And he put that picture of Ahsoka standing next to Gandalf the White. Yeah. Could they use a broken world between worlds machine to make branch realities or multiverses like Marvel? Drew, I hope that they don't. I hope, and I see a lot of people pushing for the world between worlds to be used to create multiverse, where you can have multiple timelines, multiple worlds that meet different fan expectations. And part of it, a big bulk of it, comes from folks wanting to retcon the sequels, not in a way that put them in a different perspective, but in a way that makes them completely irrelevant, or that they didn't even happen. And I would hate to see the fan base with that hard of a line between them. Thor Skywalker makes a pretty strong argument for it, for those who are still disenfranchised over that. But I don't think it's healthy in the long term, and I don't think it's good for Star Wars to follow with a multiverse idea like DC and Marvel have, with multiple worlds. It's ultimately creates all kinds of problems, and I'm just not for it. So that's me. Rebels is so good. People judge from the animation. Well, not only that, Gray, but season 1 of Rebels, the first few episodes anyway, I thought were terrible. And I quit watching it for a long time. But then I heard so much good about it that I went back and picked up where I left off. And even then, the first couple episodes I watched, I'm like, why are people watching this? But then it picked up, and I really got into it as it kind of got its feet. Boba could bring up some good. Oh, it keeps jumping on me. The chat jumps. Boba could bring up some good points. Bo betrayed her organization pre-Vizsla. Right. She broke the. Yes, exactly. We could end up with all kinds of things. True Mandalorians align with the Night Owls. I agree with you, X Sarkoon. I agree with you. Sir Nerd a lot. Hello. I see a fight with Mando and Beskar Spear versus Gideon with Darksaber. I actually think we might see, like I put here on the cover on my thumbnail, we might actually see him because Pedro Pascal has been so trained with that spear, and his choreography and fight scenes in Game of Thrones were so good. I could see them using him and the Beskar spear without the helmet. So that's one of my thoughts. Yes, XRQ season 1 is underrated. You really? Again, I'm going to do a rewatch. My opinion could change. Reefer Man, I was up all night with back-to-back issues, watching the entirety of season 2 of Mandalorian all over again. Oh, it's definitely going to be. Oh, something else. It's December 25th. They're going to release the gallery season 2, where we get the backstory of this season of The Mandalorian. I'm looking forward to that. World Between Worlds' Rebels arc, unbeatable. Yeah, but hopefully it stays there. Even watched half of Rebels last night. Oh my goodness, Reefer Man. Oh my god. Oh, season 1. Good. Damien, hello, welcome. Welcome. Thanks for your support. I appreciate you being here. Something crazy has to happen this episode. Hopefully, Luke. I'm for that. But again, if you missed it earlier, my tinfoil hat is going with the Sabine Wren is actually that Imperial officer on Moff Gideon's ship. So Star Wars Meg has a really good video she put out this morning that makes that argument. And Meg and Josh and many others, myself included, have completely dismissed that theory until I saw Meg post it this morning. And I'm willing to put on the tinfoil hat and go with it. And that could absolutely be the jaw dropper at the end where we see Sabine revealed. That could be really good. Can we get Plo Koon to come back? Oh, you got to love Plo Koon. I doubt it. I know George wanted Ahsoka to die. Yeah, her death in Rebels would have been more powerful, right? But they used the world between worlds to pull her out, right? She was going to die at the hands of Anakin, but that didn't happen. Mandalore the Reclaimer. Ahsoka needs to die soon. She can't live forever. Well, Dave Filoni keeps holding on, so I don't know. Yeah, Plo Koon is really original. Damien, don't like the sequels at all. That's fair enough, Damien. A lot of people don't. I dislike the prequels a lot, and I like the sequels a lot. So for me, it's flipped. But I totally get why people don't like the sequels, and that's fine. I fully get it. But for me, they impact me in a much different way. The storytelling, the story arcs, the characters, all of that to me really resonated strongly with me. And so I'm a sequel supporter, defender, but I also can appreciate that some people don't. and dislike might be a mild term. In fact, Imagic Maker, who does this show with me, he also is not a sequel fan. But we met on Thor Skywalker's Discord, and we've become friends. We still disagree on like The Last Jedi and those things, but we're friends. And you can be friends and have disagreements over the sequels or the prequels or whatever the case might be. So appreciate you being here, Damien. And you have our support. I'm not going to fight with you. We can have some nice debates sometime over things, but that's good. Kids from Escape the Indoor Show up to save. I'm looking forward to some of these new shows coming out for sure. Let me get caught up. The stakes have already been eradicated. No need to have multiple timelines. Right. I don't think so either. And I think that if we go into the Chiss ascendancy and the Chiss and the Grisk and allow that to be another storyline that parallels with the sequels, it would work. You don't have to have multiple universe. You don't need a multiverse. She doesn't have to die. All right. I'm a fan of Ahsoka. She's my favorite character of all. If you don't like the but we don't have to argue about but I agree with you, XRQ. I have a hard time watching the prequels. I still watch them because they're Star Wars, but and it's important for me just to get into the lore and the story arcs, even if I don't like it, just to say, okay, I know what happened. I see how this transpired. I just heavily disagree with it, and as well as I do with much of George Lucas's decisions. Going back to the original trilogy, I disagree with a lot of his decisions, but I love the franchise. I love the stories and the characters. So less so with the prequels, so I don't watch them as much. The sequels I do watch a lot more frequently with a lot more enjoyment than I do the prequels. Clone Wars more classic, Rebels more consistent, no bad episodes. Well, I don't know, Will. I've got to do a rewatch. A lot of people, including personally, didn't watch or were against Rebels because it felt like the Clone Wars. Oh, I see. Oh, it's good. No, you're fine. You're fine, Mandalorian. I just subbed. Oh, thank you, Damien. I appreciate the subscription. Thank you so much. Burke the Nerd, one of two. Star Wars is unique from Marvel and DC. Across every live action adaptation, they've never established a separate canon, except that we do have a Legends and now, but I'll say this too: Legends was never canon. It was just it was consistent, and it fit into the universe, but it was never canon. And so they always talk about multi-tiered canon within Star Wars, but that wasn't truly the case. It wasn't truly canon. It was just consistent with itself. The EU's exception in writing, but live action canon never rebooted. Right. You're right. It would be a huge problem creating an alternate universe. I agree. Yeah. Damien, I'm staying up tonight. Sienna's staying up tonight. I'm old to stay up, but tonight is happening. Didn't she get beaten by Gideon? It could be. I'm not. I very well could be. He get his Beskar armor removed. He could get stripped of his Beskar armor, or he may give it up. That could be. Damien, Den might die. I don't think he will, but Josh Lucas made a really strong argument for it. Bert, 3 of 2. A little appendix at the end. Appendix A. So for that reason, they have no reason to enter multiverse. Right. Exactly. I agree. I think he should lose it soon because we get super soldier vibes from him. Well, he does get his tail kicked on a regular basis. Not as much as he did by that Mudhorn in season 1, but even in season 2, he got thrashed pretty good. Those spiders gave him a run for it, and if it weren't for the X-wings, I think they would have been done for. And not only that, but there's another scene, even in this last one, when those pirates were coming up on the ship, he was weaponless, standing there with just his fists, and knowing that he was done for. And the TIE fighters took out the guy. So he does get his tail kicked pretty good. Yeah, exactly. Hey, hello, SZO Fives. Well, welcome. And I love your little icon there. Thank you so much. I appreciate the support. Isn't the EU an alternate universe? It's an expanded universe, and they're non-canon stories, but not necessarily a separate universe. I think a lot of people have kind of said, and I think George Lucas even has a thing that says like he sees them as a bit of an alternate universe that shares the same. I have to get the exact quote again, but basically it shares the same DNA. It's just an alternate kind of thing. Thrawn appear in a hologram. Bo-Katan get the dark saber. Will Corrales, first of all, welcome. Welcome. Good to see you here. Thrawn, I guess it could, but I don't know. Let's see. Oh, I see some of my friends showing up here. Some great people. Togrutas do live longer. Yeah. I think in-game Ahsoka is what Qui-Gon would have been to Anakin. Perhaps so. Didn't we hear it? Yes, we did hear her voice, but she doesn't have to be dead. Luke and Leia communicated through the Force, and they weren't dead. Just the same as, and I know people don't like it, but I'm going to say it, just as Rey and Ben did as well. Only watched the Duel of the Fates and about Geonosis there's fair enough. Great. I was a little unhappy with the size of Ahsoka's mantra. Yes, I know it's not the same. I know. Right. They had to do it because of stunts, and Dave Filoni said that he did a lot of, they've tried different sizes, they tried different movements, and they went with the size of the Leku and the Montrails for the reasons of performance. Ambassador, welcome again. 2 days in a row. My goodness, thank you so much. One of the days we'll put together a stream to discuss how the fandom can be healed. Oh, that would be great, Ambassador. I would love to do that with you. I know we're of the same mind, even though we have different opinions. It's very good. I appreciate that. Ahsoka could have helped Rey from the world between worlds, and that would explain why she's still alive. I'm going to have to let that sit. I see some friends on here. Right, here we go. Girls with Sabers. Again, my goodness, 2 days in a row. I must be dreaming. Girls with Sabers. If you don't follow them, you should. Again, I thought about this afterwards. I mentioned they're Reylos, but they and I absolutely share with them the Ben Redemption idea, the redemption of Ben Solo. And I know that Girls with Sabers are one of the ones that would like to see, and there is a story thread that allows Ben to be trapped in the world between worlds right now, and that if they were to open that portal, he could be brought out and redeemed. Not entirely opposed to that idea. I just don't buy into it. But I do buy into the Ben Redemption, the Ben being redeemed, and I love Girls with Sabers. I absolutely adore them. Thank you for being here. Dale, staying up too. Yeah. Let's see. General GW. That's right. Very good. Emrys. General Emrys. And is it Admiral Luthien then? Is that it? General Emrys and Admiral Luthien. I love it. Luthien's the general. Okay. I love you guys. 3 people that can kill Mando. Imbo, Cad Bane, and Bo-Katan. Oh, every time somebody says Cad Bane, it makes me happy. I definitely want to see Cad Bane brought to live action. I would love to see that. Thrawn is for Ahsoka. Doubt we'll see him. Yeah, I don't think we'll see him either. I love Ahsoka. Definitely a Jedi, just not a Jedi. Okay, very good, very good. And um, I think the Ahsoka series, and I mentioned this the other day. I think the Ahsoka series could absolutely be take place within the Chiss Ascendancy, where Ahsoka and Thrawn and Ezra are working together. And Ahsoka, when she first finds them, is going to be not about all that. And Ezra is going to have to say, no, 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 he's not the bad guy. And she's going to say, I'm wrong, he is the bad guy. And so there's going to be that kind of dynamic. I would love to see that. And I would love to see Thrawn, Ezra, and Ahsoka working together to fight the Grisk. I think that would be a wonderful series. And sign me up. Of course, they could do other, whatever they have in mind. But in my own head right now, that's where I am. That's where I am. Drew's reviews. They say Grogu rejects Mando. Oh, because he's having some PTSD. And Josh mentioned this morning. I do think that Grogu is mentally, physically, in all ways older than he has appeared, but that he's going through some severe PTSD that has disassociated him from his knowledge. And so he appears and behaves in a way much younger than he truly is. And once he comes through the PTSD, which I thought kind of happened in the tragedy when he was on the Seeing Stone, I think that he may be coming out of it, but then he got taken by Moff Gideon. Now he's being held prisoner. So very well could be. If you haven't checked out my fanfic this Saturday, part 5, I have been kind of keeping up with it, Ambassador, but I haven't. I'm not current. So Ambassador is kind of going into a different take on Rey in a way that kind of redeems her character for some folks. I don't need her redeemed because I love her already, but I can appreciate folks who are trying to positively come about things. And personally, that's also what attracts me to Girls with Sabers so much, is that they love Star Wars so much, so much. And what they're working on is getting together with other people who love Star Wars and talking about Star Wars in a way that is therapeutic, healing, and uniting. And I see Ambassador trying to do the same thing. I appreciate it. Boba Fett's life is kind of sad. His father was killed. Do we really know if he wanted to be a bounty hunter? Well, as a Zeal, in the Clone Wars, pre-teen Boba Fett is a very angry boy, and he nearly kills a couple of Jedi, right? So what they haven't yet canonized about him doesn't show his full storyline, but I understand in the EU there's quite a bit of rich stuff there. So that's absolutely worth it. Boba was taking his father's friends and rivals. Sometimes they wanted to kill Boba. Yeah, he never really had friends. He had associates. When we talked about those before, he had associates, but they mistreated him quite a bit, and he was distrusting of them. And I mentioned to Josh one time, one of my favorite scenes is when Asajj grabs him, throws him in the trunk, and locks it. Treats him like a little child. To me, I'm not a Boba Fett fan, and that scene cracked me up. Be cool if we get a hollow message back from Thrawn to Gideon. Could be. I just don't see it. I don't see it happening. Let me get it down here. Yeah, I agree with the PTSD. Yep. Boba gets the chance to kill a Jedi for some type of... Right. That's exactly right. In the Clone Wars, Boba's helping due to the deal lose his father as well. Well, could be. Yeah, because Din did lose his parents. Burke. I need that Game of Thrones final. Oh, I don't know. One retcon take New Republic was distracted by the Grisk instead of being stupid, ignoring everything. Well, we'll see. We'll see how they develop it all out. I have heard them saying that Thrawn might come in and say, "You guys don't know what you don't know," and the Grisk are coming, and you need to fall in line right now because it's fixing to get bad, and maybe that could happen. 14 hours and counting. Oh, we're getting there. We're getting there. Your best, my 6-year-old best friend's a dead ringer for young Boba Fett. Really? Oh my goodness! I get to see them Saturday on Jingle Ring. I'm so excited, Mark. Thank you so much. I'm looking forward to that. Drew, off to work. Oh, okay. Have a good day, Mark or Drew. Thanks for being here. Both Din and Grogu are trauma victims. Yes, they are. It's an orphan taking another lead. Oh, you girls, you're absolutely right. 1,000,000%. Absolutely right. Very good. Boba had to keep up with the Fett's reputation. Well, yeah, but he was also angry, right? Boba Fett was angry. He had a lot of just pure hatred. Yeah, I don't know about keeping up with the Fett, with his dad's reputation. He was just super, super angry. Bounty Hunter of Interest. I love Bounty Hunter of Interest. Yes. I was worried you suspect the last video was too negative. Oh, no, I do. I love your stuff. Thanks, Will. Girls, it's alternate version. Yep. Trying to, it's a character development for Rey, Finn, etc. It's a 10-part series. Good. Star Wars and Christmas. Good. Oh, thank you so much. Thanks so much, Will. Let's see. I'm almost caught up. Does Vader know when he was standing next to Hunter that almost killed him when Hunter was a kid? Oh, I don't know that. Anakin, I gotta think about this. Anakin and Boba Fett did cross paths, right? And Boba Fett nearly did kill Obi-Wan and I'm just trying to piece that together. I'll have to really think about that, XRQ. Very good. I know we talk about Boba a lot, but I love how legends. Jaina Solo went to Boba. I would like to see them do the Young Jedi Knight series with Rey and Finn following Rise of Skywalker. I would love to see that. And I know you wouldn't get Jaina and Jace, right? You wouldn't get the twins, the Solo twins, but I would love to see that kind of story told post Rise of Skywalker. All right. Thanks so much, Mandalorian the Reclaimer. Have a good day. Thanks so much. All right. Well, look, I've gone really, really long, and I appreciate you being here. So again, just a brief recap of my predictions. I think that Din is going to go to Trask and recruit Bo-Katan to go with him. They're going to perhaps meet with Moff Gideon on Camino, but wherever that is, I think there's a strong case for Camino, but wherever that is, there will be an attack. And I very well think that we could already have Sabine Wren as that Imperial officer on Moff Gideon's ship. I do think they will get Grogu back in this. I think that somebody will die of significance, be it Boba Fett or Grief Karga. Those are my two leading candidates. I think Moff Gideon might also die. The Jedi showing up at the end, I'm not sure. I keep waffling on that one way or the other. So I see your comment. There's still a way to have the Solo twins. All right, it couldn't happen, and it cannot happen. Or could it? Or could it? Maybe it could. So you don't tell me it couldn't happen with Finn Ray. I think they could, and they don't have to be Solo twins. So there, neener. I love it. Makes me happy, brings me joy. Thanks so much. And I think that could a Jedi show up at the end? Yeah, it very well could. Sort of like the Luke Skywalker at the end of The Force Awakens. We could very well get him there. And I will go with the hashtag light the green, where we see him light that saber. I do think that Luke Skywalker could show up, Sebastian Stan as Luke Skywalker, and that would be great. That would be great. And then we'll go into season 3 with, and I think Bo-Katan will get the dark saber back, and perhaps if Boba Fett doesn't die, then we could end up with Bo and Boba Fett opposed to one another over who's the rightful ruler and owner of the dark saber and the Mandalorians. I hope the episode drops tonight. It's like an hour long. Okay, so the rumor is German networks require for their ratings board to get the runtime. And all season long, people have been getting runtimes of the seasons from the German broadcast networks or broadcasting service. I'm not exactly sure what it's called there. The leak on Reddit anyway says that that German outlet has reported 57 minutes. So it very well could be 57 minutes. IMDb right now lists it at 40 minutes, but IMDb is not a reliable source in this case, so I wouldn't go with that. So it does appear that it could be 57 minutes. I did. Lord Vito. Don't encourage girls with sabers. Don't do it. Mithril get all the time taken off his sentence. Maybe. Yeah. Archer, hello. Welcome. What about Luke? Yeah, I do think Luke could absolutely show up. Correct me if I'm wrong, but Sabine created Death Star technology. Yes. No. I don't think she did. I have to see. Finn is not a Solo. Of course he's not a Solo. but Rey and Finn could still have children that are not Solo twins. They'd just be Skywalker twins. If Finn would to take Rey's adopted last name. So there. Hopefully we see you at Den of Nerds Watch Party 3. I do want to show up, so I do hope to be there. What about Cal Kestis showing up? I do think there's a strong possibility Cal Kestis could be there, but I'm not exactly sure. It is a little too inside baseball, I think. The same risk is with Sabine. Like, let's say that the imp officer does take off her hat and she reveals herself as Sabine and she starts, kicking butt. I think the folks that aren't familiar with who Sabine is could get confused. And so I still throw that imp officer being Sabine Wren as a tinfoil hat theory, and I'm allowed to have some of those. So as girls with sabers know, I'm a big Finn Ray guy, and if it requires me to wear a tinfoil hat to be a Finn Ray, then I'll proudly wear it. I'll proudly wear it. Sabine did not create Death Star technology. Galen Ursa, right. What do you think about Grogu becoming Sith? I don't think so. I'm not a huge fan of again, I'm forgetting his name, Darth Revan. So Darth Revan did that, right? He was a Jedi, he became a Sith, and he came back to be a Jedi. I think that's a great story for Darth Revan, but I don't think it has to be everybody else, right? Everybody wanted Rey to do that, and everybody wanted Luke to do that, and they said Luke kind of flirted with it, but they didn't. And you see that Anakin, that's basically his redemption arc, and Ben, that's basically his redemption arc. Even though they didn't become Jedi at the end, they both died in the end, or at least we believe they're dead, right? Girls with sabers, right? We believe that he's dead, or maybe he's trapped between worlds. We'll let you have that until we know that he's dead, which he's dead. So, Santa's gonna Santa research your feelings. Search your feelings. I love it so much. Sabine created Imperial technology that heated Beskar to the point of cooking. Oh, yeah, right. Josh is a Reylo with his twins. Right. So Josh has the solo twin theory there that Rey is pregnant with Ben's children. Right. Rey isn't a Skywalker. Right. It's an adopted name. Josh is a Reylo. He just likes right. Right. He's a closet Reylo. Right. Sabine created the Duchess. I don't know. You ship your very good. Yes, I will. And if I need a tinfoil hat to do it, I'll do that. Right. I know Rey isn't a Skywalker by blood, but I do like the message. Yeah. Many of you don't know. I doubt any of you know this. My dad was adopted, and so my last name is an adopted last name. His last name would have been something different had his father actually, his dad, his biological father, raised him. But he was adopted and took on the name of his adopted father. And so I now inherit that name from my dad, who was adopted into that family. So it means a lot to a lot of people that somebody who felt loved, cared for, and mentored by someone might adopt their last name and reject who they come from. And I see that in my own family and my dad, and whom I was always raised with my grandfather that I share the last name with, even though we come from a different line, right? So Rey connects to me very, very well for many reasons that I've talked about before, but that's another one of them. So I do think it's an important message. Will, what do you say here? I thought that machine that distorts everything in armor might have something to do with the Death Star tech. I don't think so, but I mean, it could, but I don't think so. Galen Erso could have built upon that from there. I think Grogu becomes Sith because they don't want Disney, just another Yoda. Why not create a new Sith or Grogu? I'm curious about the so Archer. I'm really curious about this Acolyte series, and I'm also curious post Rise who might fill the negative space there. So curious about that. So I get where you're going with Grogu maybe being that, but I don't know. Who do you think Grogu's? In my honest opinion, I don't think Yoda or Yaddle. I think we'll learn others. My opinion is that the Force yields these characters as a matter of balance, and that Yoda and Yaddle likely were created in balance to something that happened before, and that we know that Grogu is approximately the same age as Anakin, and I think that the reason we don't see a lot of these species is because the Force emits them. Is a way of balance. So that's my own theory for now, but we'll have to see where it goes. Josh's first video was a Reylo. I know he was big time Reylo, and he was definitely in there. Tinfoil hat pirates. That's right. Right. No way Grogu will turn bad. I reject that idea. I do too. There you go. I'm so glad Rey Skywalker means so much. Right. That's the healing property of Star Wars right there. You're exactly right. And I know that doesn't associate with it. So many people hold that Skywalker legacy at such a high place. And honestly, my own preference would have been to see Rey answer the question by embracing just Rey, right? Rey what? All right, just Rey. That had been her answers before, but and before it was more of a sad thing, right? But now it could just be embraced. I'm just Rey. I'm me. I would have preferred that, but Rey could be a Skywalker. Yep. Do you connect to a perfect character with no flaws or weakness? Oh, XR Coon, we're gonna have a duel, buddy. I will go there now, but yeah, I don't buy that definition of Rey. where I come from, if someone doesn't marry and takes the name of Magic, fatherless savior by space baby, they're called none. Well, that's funny. Reeves, she's not a Skywalker, never will be. That's okay, Reeves. Like I said, I would have preferred it just been just Ray, but it's okay. And so I don't have a problem with your perspective there. Many mom and dad are still together. Can relate to Ray. Yep. Got to go, Arthur. Okay, well, thanks for being here. Ray's not a Skywalker, never will be. I'm fine with that, Reeves. I'm fine with that perspective. I get it. For the new episode, Hondo Anaka. Ooh, I would love to see Hondo Anaka show up. More so, I would love to see Cad Bane. Oh man, Cad Bane deserves to be in the Mandalorian. Yeah. All right. So I've gone an extra almost half an hour, folks. I have got to go. Appreciate you all being here. I cannot wait for the episode tonight. I am super stoked for it, and I can't wait to share that with you guys tomorrow. And as we talk about it later, I've mentioned I adore Girls with Sabers. If you're not sub to them, you don't have to agree to them with them to be friends either, and to keep them there. I encourage you, go check them out. Check them out. They're great. They're great content. And Girls with Struggles is what they like to call themselves as well. The GWS, Girls with Sabers, Girls with Struggles. So they're wonderful. I absolutely love them, and worth checking out. Of course, my partner here, a magic maker, who we do the show together on Thursdays. Check him out as well. Not adopted, but surname, right? Yep. I'm with you. No, I follow. Cad Bane deserves more, right? So, folks, this has been wonderful. I'm honored that you guys have been here, and I am so appreciative of your support and the community we have together. And I can't wait to talk to you all again and continue this conversation about Star Wars. Tonight's going to be a fun night, everybody. I hope that you enjoy it, and I can't wait to see you tomorrow. Until then, Merry Christmas, everybody. Bye-bye.